So suspiciously enough, the former president has late-stage aggressive cancer that has attached itself to his bones. Some might say that's mighty convenient, seeing as a magnifying glass is being put over the Democrat Party because of the cover-up of Joe Biden's mental decline, and maybe they want to shift the narrative to something more soft and compassionate towards Joe Biden. Well, here's CNN confirming that theory.
His medical condition now, his announced medical condition now, do you believe that silences or delays a lot of conversations about his, last year and a half of his presidency for now?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think those conversations are going to happen, but they should be more muted and set aside for now as he's struggling through this.
Like, if you ever wanted an example of what the deep state is, this is the deep state at work. Like pulling strings to change the narrative and shift attention. It's so clear and so obvious because the Democrat establishment is desperate right now. They are in survival mode. And I don't mean that hyperbolically. They were already sitting at a historically low 21% approval. And now, because of Jake Tapper's book, the entire party, the entire apparatus is being held publicly accountable for the greatest scandal ever. And they thought by releasing this information and making it seem completely authentic, it might shift the sentiment. But all it's done is added fuel to the fire because it added another thing they were hiding from us. Because nobody with 2 brain cells to rub together thinks that they wouldn't have caught prostate cancer in the president of the United States. Here is one of the most partisan hacks on television. Fat Brian Stelter even saying that this looks a little suspicious.
The timing, Jessica, is just extraordinary. We know from the statement from his personal spokesman that Biden learned of the diagnosis on Friday. Well, what was the biggest Biden story on Friday? It was the release of those audio excerpts from his conversations with Robert Hur back in 2023. This was the audio that Axios obtained, almost certainly from the Trump administration, showing memory lapses. And you heard a lot of people on Friday talking about that audio being hard to hear, even excruciating to hear. Biden showing his age on those audio tapes that had never been heard by the public until now. So on the day that story was breaking, Biden was facing this personal news. At least that's according to the statement from his personal spokesman. So you have that as one element of the timing here. And then you have, as you and Paul just acknowledged, this book coming out, one of the biggest political books in several years.
This move by the Democrats was not the least bit sneaky. If Brian Stelter is saying this looks weird, what do you think is going through the minds of every single American who is not radically Trump deranged? Like, I remember when the Hur report came out well before I was making these videos in 2023, and his conclusion was Biden is just a doddering old man who can't be held criminally liable for the same thing that they raided Mar-a-Lago for. And the entire Democrat apparatus attacked this man for making it political. The Democrat media, the politicians, the influencers, all engaged in spreading the same lie. And now fast forward to today, and none of them say they did. They all say it didn't happen. They all say that they were duped. They say that they were lied to. They act like they had no part to play in this. In fact, people like Jake Tapper are actually cashing in on the lie. I guess kudos to him for getting out in front of this whole thing, but the Democrats are just relying on everybody drawing a blank over what happened the past 4 years. They called us conspiracy theorists. They called us lunatics for believing Joe Biden wasn't the sharpest man on planet Earth. And now it is all crumbling at their feet because everybody who voted for Trump knew Joe Biden wasn't mentally fit since 2020. But now everybody who didn't vote for Trump knows that they were lied to and their party is dangerous.